I am Dr. Syed Khadiruddin Chishti and I am teaching to the BSc second year physics, and our topic is the theory of relativity. Here we are studying about the Michelson and Morley experiment. In our previous lectures we studied about the ether, that previously it is assumed that ether is present everywhere. All the planets are moving through the ether, Earth is also moving through the ether, but later it is proved that there is no existence of ether. So this experiment will prove that there is no existence of ether, and to prove Michelson and Morley has designed the apparatus using two glass plates. There are two glass plates. One is a semi-silvered glass plate G and another is plain glass plate G1. Glass plate G is semi-silvered because it will partially reflect the light towards the mirror M2 and mirror M1. These two mirrors M1 and M2 are placed at equal distance from the silvered glass plate G. Suppose this distance is equal to d, small d is the distance. This distance is small d. The light from the source S is allowed to fall on this glass plate, silvered glass plate, which is partially reflect the light towards the M2, and it will reflect the light towards the M1. So what will happen here? The light which is traveling through M2 will pass through the glass plate G1. This glass plate G1 will maintain the phase difference or the path difference between the light rays, and the reflected light will be divided into two parts. A part will be reflected towards the telescope and another part is reflected towards the mirror M1. Now these two light rays which are coming from M1 and M2 will interfere each other, and interference pattern will be found here in the telescope. Now our aim is to find the velocity of the Earth relative to the ether. So if suppose the ether is at rest and the Earth is moving relative to the ether, then its velocity is considered to be 30 km per second. Okay. So if the ether is at rest, or we can say that the velocity of ether is minus 30 km per second, that is opposite to the velocity of the Earth. This velocity is orbital velocity of the Earth. Now if you want to calculate the time taken by a light ray to move from A to B and from B to A again, then we can use the formula as time is equal to distance upon velocity. This velocity is c minus v, where c is the velocity of the light and v is the velocity of the apparatus. So d upon c minus v is the time from A to B, and again from B to A, d upon c plus v. Then time from A to B and again to A will be equal to t1 plus t2. So we can write here time in x direction as d upon c minus v upon d upon c plus v, which is equal to 2 cd upon c square minus v square. If we simplify it, we will get this equation 2d upon c 1 minus v square by c square. Now similarly we can calculate the time in y direction. As you know that here there is a point A, here there is point C, okay, point A and point C, then we can say that if this velocity is c, then this part is c square minus v square because it is v, c square minus v square. This point is suppose d. Means velocity of the light in this direction is root over c square minus v square. Velocity along AC, root over c square minus v square. Therefore time taken by the light ray to move from A to C and back from C to A will be equal to d upon same time, d upon root over c square minus v square plus d upon c square minus v square. Total time will be 2d upon c square minus v square. Okay, that is ty is equal to 2d. So c square is taken common, 1 minus v square by c square, or ty is equal to 2d c root over 1 minus v square by c square. Yes. Now the expected classical shift we have calculated the time along x direction and along y direction. So I am substituting here the value of tx and ty, and I am simplifying it as delta t equal to d upon c, v square by c square. I am neglecting here the higher power of v square and c square. So this is the change in time or the expected shift. Therefore, if I turn the apparatus through 90 degree, then the part or the arm AC will be longer than arm AB. The arm AC will be longer than AB when I shift it through 90 degree. And it will be longer by an amount of dv square by c square. And because of this shift, there is a path difference of 2 dv square by c square, and this path difference should be equal to n lambda, where n is the number of fringes and lambda is the wavelength of the light. And if I calculate it, then it is calculated to be 0.37. Now if the apparatus are placed, Michelson and Morley has placed this apparatus in trough of mercury, and they rotated it very slowly through 10 rotations per hour, and they found that there is no significant change in the fringe, and hence they proved that there is no existence of ether, because if the ether is present, then there should be considerable change in the fringe width, and as there is no considerable change in the fringe, then therefore it is proved in this experiment that there is no existence of ether. Thank you very much.